In the year of 2074, 50 years from now, where the lungs of the world almost gone, replaced by the concrete trees, those buildings that were scratched up the skies and stepped down the earth, and people had to have oxygen cans in their backpacks since the air was not always suitable for humans. And not only that, people in that era also have to make themselves used to the threat of the natural disaster, such as global warming and the erosions. And in the middle of small city, but really modern city called Neon Metro, there lived Nancy and her older brother named Evan. Nancy really wanted to explore about the world. The reason was simply because she wanted to enjoy the world before it ends. On the other hand, Evan, he was really sick and tired about the world. And he often felt forced whenever he had to listen to Nancy's thoughts about saving the world or making the world into a better future. But as a good older brother, he always supported Nancy in order to doing her journey. And on the other day, in the weekend, both of them exploring about the mysterious place. After they spent hours and hours, they finally found a strange-looking place where it was full of the undone buildings and the tree stumps. But in that place, there were so many greeneries, like plants, trees, and many more. It was almost look like a jungle. And the air in that place was so fresh. The air is so fresh. Nancy was amazed because she never breathed in the fresh air before. And then as Evan and Nancy decided to look around in that place, Nancy decided to follow a rabbit into its hole. And near its hole, Nancy saw a big old cave, and she was really stunned by that. And as Evan came to join her, both of them decided to went into the cave. As they got deeper and deeper into the cave, of course, it got darker and darker. And Evan decided to hold the flashlight and turn it on, and that's when they saw a beautiful scenery inside the cave. So Nancy did not waste the opportunity. She started to take those pictures with her camera. And then as she take more pictures, she saw a weird symbols on the cave. And it turns out there were so many symbols inside the cave. Nancy was like, what is that? I don't know, maybe a language? Evan answered Nancy's question with hesitant, since both of them have no idea about that. And then Nancy decided to take the pictures about all of those symbols. But unfortunately, for the last picture, she ran out of storage. So then they decided to went back home. And for the next Monday, Nancy woke up earlier in the morning in order to go to the school's library. And when she was arrived, she asked the librarian, hey ma'am, do you know where I can find a book about the primordial symbols? Oh, it's right in the corner over there. You can find it there. Okay, thank you. And then, in the break time, she decided to find a place where she can be alone, just her book and herself, in order to translate those symbols. And as the school ended, she went back home and straight to her bedroom. Seeing this, Evan called Nancy. Hey Nancy, at least you can eat first. In a minute! This because Evan knows that whenever Nancy really got into something, that she always forgot to eat. but she did not care at the time, and she continued translating those symbols. And finally, in the middle of the night, she finished translating those symbols. And it turns out it showed how the ancient people lived and how they connected with nature. And the next morning, Nancy started talking to her brother about those symbols. And I think those symbols can make our world even better. But I haven't finished the last part since my camera cannot take the picture. Could you please take me there again, please? Okay. Evan agreed with Nancy's journey again. And so in the weekend, they started to went back to that cave one more time, and then they decided to finish translating the remaining symbols. And it turns out in those symbols shown that people back in the days used to do the reforestation a lot. They plant a tree as a celebration for a new baby being born. And on the other hand, they also have the system about the agriculture. They applied the terracing, and they also applied the polyculture, which this also good to prevent the erosions, which those are the answer for the people in the 2074 at that time. And there are actually so many more simple ways that could make the world even better, but unfortunately that was already forgotten by modern people. And then after going back from the cave, they decided to start a small community, started from them, their friends, their neighbors. The mission was start simple, just like plant a tree for each person. And after years and years goes by, they started to get the clear air, at least in their area first. And a couple years later, of course, their movement got disagreement with the powerful businessmen. Since if the city got more trees or plants, the businessmen about the oxygen cans sales would decreasing. So they don't want that to happen. But Nancy and her community did not care and kept planting a tree. And in the end, Neom Metro City was looked as a model in sustainability. And it also proves that even in the darkest time, curiosity and the wanted to fight for the better future is going to be the answer. Thank you.